what would be their best welterweight in the world, Kell Brook, if he's to beat Spence. It would be fighting Mexico's best boxer in the world if he's to beat Triple G, and that's Canelo. These two fights makes Floyd Mayweather bigger than he already is, and I think Floyd misses that. I think Floyd loves that. I don't see him doing the sideshow anymore. And to be honest with you guys, Canelo and Kell Brook combined would not demand the same money that the UFC is going to be demanding from Floyd. Remember, they're big dogs too. We're not stupid. The UFC, I'm not talking McGregor, I'm talking UFC. The UFC's, they're not small. They're not small. They want their numbers too. And I think at the very end, Floyd's going to look at the other two avenues and say, this is a lot better for me. Not only does my legacy go up, not only Ali moment, Ali moment in the UK if Brooks wins. Mark my words, you guys. That fight will be epic over there. 100,000 plus guaranteed, okay? Ali moment. Okay. Canelo is Lee. You're talking about 2.5 million buys on a guy that's going to ask for what? 12, 15 million maybe? Canelo still don't make shit. You can lowball him still, and Floyd would rake in everything else.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You give him 25 million, and he would still make a killing on a 2.5 sell. The ball never stops rolling. For any of us that thought that Floyd wasn't going to have another big fight in boxing, come on, we had to wait a year and a few months, and now we're talking about two fights that are epic for him.
Should we?
And Lee.
Yeah.
I haven't even brought up Triple G, and that's because I don't think Floyd would. But if he did, I have 3 fights that are epic for Floyd. So stop it. You and McGregor go home.
Andrew, are you sure you don't want to agree to a contract with Floyd Mayweather?
No, I'm gonna be your hype guy. I'm gonna be your promoter, Lee.
You were my hype guy last time, Andrew.
I'm like in my prime. See that in the back? I was in my 20s. I was the quiet guy. I was too shy. I'm in my prime right now, bro. We're selling tickets, Lee.
We're selling tickets and making cheddar. I'm gonna open my own strip club when this is over.
Did you watch Gervonta?
Yeah,
let's talk about
Gervonta and Terrence. All right, first let's talk about Gervonta.
It's a good fight, Lee.
My humble opinion of Gervonta, he's a little aggressive, and
right.
He doesn't seem to be in control of his emotions, from the way that I view him. So if he gets into deep water with a veteran, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Deep water. I like that word, Lee. Look, I don't know where to start with. I don't know if I start with Davis, the fight week leading up, or start with the fight. But that deep water, I don't understand how Liam Walsh's team thought let's the first 9 minutes, let's go toe to toe. How about that? Let's keep our hands down. This kid's got a 94% knockout ratio. 16 knockouts in 17 fights. Let's go toe-to-toe with him in the first 9 minutes. Absolutely insane. But I'm going to tell you, I think Floyd won this fight for Davis before the bell even rang for the Davis-Walsh fight. Floyd, this whole fight week, remember I was talking about loving the spotlight. Boy, was he was living it up out there, Lee. I mean, this guy in the press conferences was insulting Walsh's family, calling them pussies, bums. I mean, this guy, Liam Walsh, and his brothers, he has 2 other brothers. These guys were so hot this whole week. I truly do believe that's what made this kid go into that ring and think he was going to go toe-to-toe with someone with a 94% knockout ratio. Gervonta Davis, love his power. I love his inside fighting. Very compact fighter, but really knows how to fight. Use his size to his own advantage on the inside. I like that a lot. What I don't like is the outside game. And I am also going to give credit to Floyd for knowing that his fighter isn't ready for the big dogs, and he's not. He was getting hit a lot on the outside. His defense, they got to just tune him up just a little, Lee, but he has the power to make a big run in this sport. That power is exciting.
Yeah,
You don't
until he
want
gets hit by a real
until he gets
boxer.
boxed. Yes, yes, and that's what
There are
Floyd
two
knows.
things that are going to happen to him that have not occurred. One, he needs to get hit legit, and
The 8th round.
right. And number two, he also hasn't gone up against a great fighter yet. I mean,
And Floyd knows that, though. Pedraza was a very good champion that he beat, though. As a lightweight champion, he was under the radar, Lee, but very good win there for Davis. This Liam Smith's undefeated. He went to the UK, misses weight, right? We got to throw a little shade on him for that. Misses weight only by like 2 ounces, but he still missed it. So we knew he had trouble making weight over in the UK. He's fighting a kid that sells tickets. Liam Walsh was just no pushover. He didn't go over there and fight a tomato can. The kid looked like he was making a serious run in the UK, and he just fell in front of someone that dominated him on the power. I mean, they were not equal in power. Walsh tried to stand toe-to-toe, and he got touched up very fast in that fight. First, 3 rounds. He knocked him out in the 3rd round.
yes.
But no knock on Davis. This kid has real power. He's got great inside skills. But you're absolutely right. When he meets a real Vasily Lomachenko, hello? Isn't that? I think that's the big dog of his division. He can't see that right now. He's not in that league, and Floyd knows it. So I'm happy that Floyd knows where his fighter's at. And right now, hey, look at Badu Jack is doing great things in the sport, and Gervonta Davis is now doing great things in the sport. So give it up for Floyd a little. On his promoter side, it's starting to come together right now for TMT.
Okay, well, let's turn to Brooklyn, and talk about Terrence Bud Crawford.
Terrence Bud Crawford. Well, look it. I don't like how he was acting. Did you see the fight, Lee?
Yes.
And I didn't like the showboating, man. You're fighting a guy that looks like he's a division out of his league. Boy, did Diaz look fat on Saturday. He came in at 161 pounds. That was crazy that he blew up that much overnight. He didn't look. I thought, Terrence Crawford's the real deal. It's time for the Bob Arum to put up the money and get him the big fight or fights, whichever one it is. Terrence Crawford needs to cross over. I know they want Pacquiao. I know that's what Terrence is crying for. I know that's what Bob Arum wants. Well, you might have to go into the bank, because as soon as he goes into the bank and pays Manny what he wants to get the Crawford fight, Crawford should become a star. And let me tell you, with Andre Ward in such a risky fight, Lee, you don't even think who do you have as a favorite in Kovalev Ward 2?
Actually, Kovalev.
Right? So there's a lot of people that are leaning that way. Bob Arum needs to be all over that. If Andre Ward does slip up and loses the rematch to Kovalev.
Oh, I expect Kovalev to start twice as hard, twice as fast.
And never let up.
And never let up this time.
Don't let up.
Don't try to box with him.
Exactly.
Just
Fight
pound
him.
on his ass.
Fight him. Exactly.
Rough him up
I know
corner.
it sounds easy. I know I'm not trying to make it sound easy, Lee. You know that, but you're absolutely right.
It is what it is. I mean, I get the whole keeping Crawford fresh for Pacquiao, but he's going to have to fight somebody over the course of the next year, and I'm kind of sick of these mid-level scrubbity dubs.
That's right. That's right.
It's over. I mean, he's burning the marquee value of Crawford. I mean, we can have HBO explain to me how great Crawford is, but what fight are you going to point me at that's going to tell me that Crawford's great?
Yeah, he doesn't have it right now. He has a good, Victor Postol was a great fight for the diehards, but you're absolutely right. Victor Postol, it's not like you can put him in a legendary spot and go, oh, remember when Crawford beat this guy? It reminded me of when Duran lost to Yada. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Gamboa also was not an A-side fighter. Hank Lundy, John Molina, top of my head. These are all B-level opponents. So it's time. It's time for, I'm still nervous on Crawford. I don't like how he was acting in the ring, Lee. I don't like how he was acting out of the ring. Remember, this is a guy who's in trouble with the law for sending goons over to a mechanic shop to retrieve a car that he didn't pay for. You know, and Terrence Crawford isn't a multi-millionaire yet. He might have maybe he has a few million in the bank, but you get what I'm saying. He's not Mayweather right now.
No, I get that.
And what happens if he becomes that? Instead of 2 goons, is it 4? Is it a gang? Or are you going to grow up?
I would hope so, because that would at least make him interesting.
Oh, we have Broner, and that'll be later. But you will always have Broner. And that takes me back real fast, Lee. That's going to take me back, because I want to get this out there, because I think it's really important for the guys that are trying to be Floyd. Now, I'm talking about Adrian Broner and Gervonta Davis, guys that have come up with Floyd. Floyd Mayweather was not Money Mayweather when he first started. And I hope Davis realizes that before he goes down this path of trying to be Money May too early. Because he should look at Adrian Broner as an example of what could happen to you if you become that jackass before you're wanted by everybody in the casino world, in the boxing world. When you are the attraction, it's okay to be like that. But when you're coming up, I might not want to be screaming at your press conference, bitches and bums, and it's a little too much. So I hope they tamper that down. I hope Floyd realizes before he was Money Mayweather, he was Pretty Boy Floyd. He used to wear suits and used to act like a good kid. And then when he seen that his talent was above all, then his ego came in. And he needs to really learn how to teach that to his younger fighters, because as we're going to talk about soon or later, Adrian Broner tried way too fast to be Money Mayweather, and he's now in jail for his 3rd time, Lee.
Andrew, this news just in. I have not signed a contract, but more importantly, the WBC has finally done something that I'm happy about. Olympic silver medalist and former world champion Amir Khan, who was the perennial WBC ranked #1 contender, went to court, went a little fighting, and I quote, "I'm a little upset by the WBC ruling, but it makes the division exciting." That's right. Amir Khan is no longer ranked number 1. Thank God. So, Andrew, we had a blackout. We came back. I had to actually look up why we were talking, so I will finish my statement. Can you even fathom Amir Khan wanting to still be ranked #1 by the WBC?
Well, yes, Amir Khan and his team has always thought highly of himself, probably even more so than anyone else did. It's who they are. He's like that who's that new dad in the basketball? LeVar Bell, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Amir Khan's father was sort of like a poor man's LeVar Bell back in the day. Kind of ruined Amir Khan's TV contracts out there in the UK for a long time. He hasn't fought. Last time he fought at 155, he was knocked out, unconscious. No, I don't see him ranked #1. Well, he wasn't even a good welterweight. I've said it many times. The junior welterweight, best division Amir Khan had. So I'm glad the WC finally pulled the trigger on that one.
Yeah, at least that cleans that mess up, and hopefully he'll just go away. But he probably won't, and that's,
He's been crying for the A side for a long time. Now he'll be crying for B side guys, right? He'll just move a notch down.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's everything, Andrew.
I know.
What other news do we have?
The DQ, Lee. I got to bring it up.
Okay.
Look at the Durrell disqualification fight. I don't know. I thought it was a bang situation. I know the guy's history didn't play in his favor. He's already been disqualified once. But I'll tell you, this boxing needs to get this right. They need to get the fact that when you have a fighter that clearly doesn't know English, and maybe it's the promoters and the managers of that fighter, but they must get a referee that knows the language of both fighters. I don't know how hard that is, Lee. It seems like a Spanish-English combination shouldn't be that hard to find, right? A ref that knows both. But what I didn't like about that situation is in the beginning of the fight, they're translating for the fighter the instructions, but then penalize him when he doesn't respond to an